Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Imagine Slagharen. Now, in the last episode, I built the track for Gold Rush, the coaster we have to recreate for this round. And in this episode, I want to make custom supports for this coaster. Now, I think this is going to be a little bit tricky because Slagharen really loves to make elaborate supports. But I will try to make something that will look good and somewhat realistic as well. So yeah, let's just go over some pictures just to see what these supports for this coaster look like. Okay, here you can see some of the supports. This is the top hat in the beginning. So as you may be able to see, there's two triangular towers here. That's something Slagharen really likes to do, with lots of cross beams in between. And right after that we have this sling loop, again with two triangular towers, and these are simply all double supports, or supports with two beams. And I believe the rest of the track is also just two beams. Now, as you can see in these supports, most of them here have a flange in the middle, and there's also a flange here at top connecting these top pieces. Now, I'm not really sure if I'm going into detail this much, but it is something to take into account. And yeah, the support pieces do provide pieces with flanges, so it would be a shame to not use them. Okay, here's some more pictures. Here you can see the sling loop again, which in my park is just a big curved, a big sloped curve. Here's another look at the support. Here you can see the train coming out of the top hat, again with the sling loop. Here's some more supports. Here you get a good look at the triangular tower. Now this is probably going to be the most tricky part to recreate. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it. What I might do is just make the supports not fully towards the top here, but stop at the lower part, just to try and make it work in a better way. Because I have a feeling that when I make them, these supports will be very wide. But yeah, it will be interesting to try and recreate them. I don't have much experience with custom supports. I did do a tutorial on them once, and I did do a coaster full of custom supports but these Slagharen supports will probably be very tricky to do. Okay, it looks like that the supports that are here in next to the launch track, they are actually buried into these rocks. So here you don't see any footers. On other parts of the track, I don't think you usually see the footers, but you can see them in this part. You can also see them here. So I will just leave them out in the part where they happen to cross any of this of the part here right next to the launch track. Alright, I'm just going to play around a bit, see if I can make a triangular tower that looks proper. Okay, as you can see, this part of the track is pretty high. I think I want to have the support up to about this height over here. Now, if we do this with track beats like this, let's see how high I would need to have it be. Something like this. I think this is an acceptable, let's call it wideness of this custom support. It will probably still look good when I also do it on this side, and we'll also want one on this side. Maybe I'll also play around a bit with some of these diagonal ones. But yeah, for sure it will probably give me some headaches, especially with the isometric view. It will probably be quite tough to get this to look right. But yeah, I'm not going for 100% accuracy. I just want to have these triangular towers on the place where they also are in the real thing. Okay, something I just realized is that I can probably just use these wooden supports to actually work as these triangular supports that I'm trying to make here. It's probably a lot easier than trying to do it this way. And yeah, even if I do it this way, it will still look sort of similar, because you can see there's lots of cross beams here, something which I wouldn't be able to do with the steel supports anyway. So what I'm going to do is simply, for these triangular towers, use these wooden supports, and for the rest of the supports I will simply use these steel ones. Alright, I think this looks acceptable for one of these triangular towers. Yeah, what I am still going to do is move it a little bit up and then place some footers under it. But yeah, I think I will use this kind of structure again for the other triangular towers that are in this layout. I really like the way this looks. Okay, I've decided to do away with the triangular tower here, and I'm just going to make these regular supports here. Because yeah, normally there would be a sort of a loop here. It would be a little bit more steep. I think there a triangle tower would make more sense. But here I think these normal supports will look better than a big tower. I tried making one here, but I didn't really like the way it looked. Okay, now there's something a little bit annoying about these supports in the diagonal parts, and that's yeah, from some angles they will clip through the track. So you can see right now this part is not touching the track at all, but when I make it any higher, then it will actually yeah, appear through the track here, and that's something I really want to avoid. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to solve this. Maybe I will just do the custom supports only in the curves and in this part over here, and I might just leave out this part, because it will look silly if we use two different kinds of supports here. So yeah, I think I will just remove these supports here, and then I will move on to these curves over here. Okay, I'm getting quite sick of doing these custom supports. So this is where I'm going to wrap up the video. So just as a little summary of what I did. So here we have the launch track of the coaster. Now here I just kept the original supports under it, because they're barely visible anyway. So here for the top hat, I just made these triangle or wooden supports. I think it looks better than what I tried using the B&M supports. And they're triangular like this anyway. And I think this looks much more like how it looks in reality. In this section, I just made these B&M steel supports. Yeah, in reality there's also a triangular support here, but this is just what I thought looked nicer. In this section, yeah, I'm actually really happy with this section. So here's this turnaround, and I just used these custom B&M supports here. I think it works pretty well here, especially from this angle. It just looks like a nice sea of supports, just as you will see on a typical Gerstlauer coaster. And yeah, here in the middle I just made a double diagonal support here, because the track is right above the other track. And here at the end I made another one of these triangular supports. And I also put some supports here on the front just to make it look a little bit more supported. Anyway, yeah, here in the diagonal section, here I just kept the original supports just because some of the supports would start clipping through the track, and that would just be annoying to make that look right. So here I just kept the original ones. Anyway, yeah, if you want some tips on how to do custom supports yourself, the best advice that I can give you is don't do it. Run away. No, but for real though, yeah, it can be quite annoying to get right, but the best idea is just to experiment, or well, actually the best idea is just to look at how other people did it in their parks. Just to look up some of the top rated parks with custom scenery, and you'll probably see some nice ways to do some of these supports. A lot of these track elements have a very specific way in which these supports will actually work right. Especially on elements that look very different from two angles, like the large loops. Anyway, yeah, I've been rambling for too long. So yeah, the custom supports are done now. Tomorrow will be the deadline of this contest, tomorrow at midnight. So yeah, tomorrow it's finally time to start working on the station and also do some more of the direct surroundings of the ride. Still a lot of work to do, but at least I got these custom supports out of the way, because they're a pain to do. Okay, I hope you enjoyed watching this episode, and I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.